let's preview the last 16 games coming up. Let's start with that huge game, Netherlands against the USA, 10 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday. Nick, can the USA shock the Netherlands? And who are the favourites? Because I think we'd all agree the Dutch are the big favourites against the US. Or is that how you see it?
I do. I think ultimately a team with there's no Virgil van Dijk here for the U.S. There's no Frankie de Jong for the U.S. And even if that's just getting earned capital and more recognition because they're over in Europe and they've been on a brighter stage, I do think there's more experience there. Louis van Gaal, with all due respect to Gregg Berhalter, has seen it all, done it all. And it'll be our first taste of a manager who has seen it all, done it all. With all due respect to Tata Martino, having a chance to show the U.S. what he's seen from them. So it won't just take coming to terms with their first half game plan and their exceptional players. It'll be making the adjustments as well. And so I think the U.S. very much can be in this game, but a lot of the peripherals, a lot of the the intangibles, those are with the Dutch, I think, here.
I think so. I think you mentioned it there, a few players, Van Dijk, de Jong, and you look up top, Memphis Depay and Cody Gakpo started together against Qatar, looked electric. Gakpo's got 3 goals in 3 games at the World Cup. England was sluggish against the US in the group stage. Wales never got really going. And then Iran late on had a few chances. But this is going to be the biggest test defensively for this much improved US defensive unit. But the way the movement, the passing, the way they're ripping through teams, Holland, whenever they get into those final third positions, that just worries me a bit for the US. Is that a key area for you? And I agree with you, though. I think if I had to do a percentage on it, probably 65-35% in favor of the Netherlands. And that is no disservice to the US, but I think that's actually probably higher percentage-wise for the US than I usually would give them against the Netherlands, but based on how well they're playing and the form that they're in right now.
And it's depth too, right? I mean, if we're learning anything, it's not that Gregg Berhalter doesn't want to make subs. And again, we can argue about Reyna and Aronson, but they're two very young players, and you're looking at them as difference makers. When you're going to go to the midfield, it's Luca Della Torre and Acosta, inexperienced on the stage. When you look at some of the players who are being brought in by the Netherlands, it's either Davy Klaassen or Steven Bergwijs. It's even if you don't love the way they perform for your favorite team, Vincent Janssen coming in, Wout Weghorst, Koopmeiners. These are some really, really outstanding players who are coming off the bench. And I especially like the fact, if I'm Holland, that I'm going to roll out a back three of Nathan Ake, Virgil van Dijk, and Jurrien Timber, and then look to the bench and be like, if I have to make a switch, I'll be fine. There's just so many players you're familiar with. They didn't start De Vrij and Delight. I mean, we would kill to have one of those guys.
I know. They got some really good, talented young players and a bit more experience than these US players. I think that's the key, right? At huge clubs in Europe. It's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight. But right now, I think we all kind of favor the Netherlands against the USA. But Nick, in this tournament, there's been a lot of upsets. There's been a lot of shocks. So can the US take heart out of that they kind of thrive on being the underdogs? And I think they can get at this Netherlands team if Christian Pulisic is fit and Tim Weah, if he keeps performing like this out on the right as well, right? And the fullbacks as well, Robinson and Dest. If they can keep performing at this level, then with the Dutch playing in the back three there, and, I'm looking at Dumfries is good going forward, not as good defensively. And Blind is better defensively, but not great going forward at their wing backs. So I think in those wide areas there, that's where the US can really get at the Netherlands. What do you think?
That's right. And Sergiño Dest will have a very good familiarity with them. And again, we mentioned how good he's been as well. I just look to them and I think, can they be outworked? And I think they can in terms of the buzzing energy of the US. At some point, I think we're going to see, whenever the U.S. bows out of this tournament, assuming they don't win the World Cup, we're going to see them just run out of juice because the Wales game, they had so much energy. And in the second half, they were a little discombobulated, but it wasn't a lack of effort that did them in. And the subs have not always been in a spot where they could rest them. The England game, I can't believe that didn't take more out of them. Credit to the Americans for what they were able to ratchet up against Iran, because they had to fight every minute to get that point off England. So at some point they're going to run out of steam, and it really won't be their fault.
No, it's very true. It's very true. Against the Netherlands, when I'm looking at it, though, there is that little area, the gaps there out wide, where I think the US can get at them. And then it's all about, can they get someone in the box who's going to finish off these chances? And it's going to be fun to see, fun to watch. And I think there is a chance. As I said, the US are not favored. I think that plays in their favor. The expectation is all on the Netherlands here to win and go through to the quarterfinals. Historically, they're the biggest soccer nation. They've been there and done it in these tournaments under Louis van Gaal, going to the semifinals in 2014. So, yeah, nothing's expected of this US team. And I think it's a great situation for these youngsters to be in. Berhalter can say, play the way we play, but just go out there with freedom and go at the Dutch. And that should play into their hands, shouldn't it?
Yeah, Joe, I'm going to give you a guess, because I've got the first odds I've seen on this game. What do you think the U.S. odds will be to beat and advance past the Netherlands?
Plus 500?
No, plus 170.
Wow.
Netherlands at minus 250. The over-under for goals at 2.5. That made me feel a little bit better about it. Again, this isn't a vintage Netherlands side in the sense of, in almost any way, but we've seen, like with Spain, when you have a young team that does get to firing, they can arrive a little bit early. So, hey, maybe we're in for a momentous win.
Get ready, US fans. Up until pretty much the week before the festive season, the US could still be in the World Cup and going all the way. You heard it here first. Head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for all the latest team news, how to watch information, previews, predicted lineups. We'll have you covered at every angle as this US team is out of the group in the last 16, taking on the Dutch. And my word, the underdogs, it feels like they've got another couple of big performances in them at this World Cup.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.